shirt.
And I ain't been able to get to them because I ain't checking it all the time.
I need to get my phone because
Want me to grab it for you?
yeah, so when we demonstrate, we could do it on that one. Okay. Good morning, you guys. This is Veronica with New Beginnings Insurance Group. I'm actually here in the office, and Don Marquez in my office this morning. We're doing something a little bit different. We have Michael Elliott with the Veg Ringtone, and we also have Henry Thorns. We're going to talk to them about a couple of things. We're going to talk some insurance, and, we'll go from there. You guys, you know the routine. So, anyways, can you see the shirts? These are beautiful. The Veg Ringtone. So we'll actually go over that. We'll talk to you. Michael will show you how to, he'll demonstrate and how to change the Veg Ringtone and what it actually means. So I just want to ask you guys out there if, I just want to ask, or actually not really ask, I want to just mention and remind you guys that it's really important to have that life insurance. I was talking to Henry earlier, and we were just joking around about back in the day, people burying people in the desert and stuff. But, you guys, it's really important to make sure you have that life insurance. I am here to help you. My number is 702-625-8989. Again, 702-625-8989. So if you guys are interested, call me. We're located at 2300 West Sahara in the U.S. Bank Building on the 8th floor. We do appointments only. So give us a call, and we'll definitely set you up. If you have any questions, anything like that, if you need to insurance review, make sure your policy is good, we can help you. It is really important to understand that when you have your life insurance policy, you need to make sure if you have anything that's more than 10 years, probably about the 15th year, you need to make sure that you do a review to make sure you have a conversion, if it's term, if it's not. If you are going to do the conversion, make sure you do it before that conversion deadline. So that is extremely important. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to probably just go segue over to talk to Michael and Henry. I want to know if you guys have any stories for me. Otto, anything, anyone maybe have you thought they had insurance or whatever and they didn't, and it was a struggle or anything like that?
Well, I mean, growing up in hood type areas, not like just in the ghetto, but in the hood areas, driving around and seeing different people. I've always seen the jar, the pitcher, and car washes, and that's because they wasn't prepared to leave. Nobody got them prepared, so I mean, I witnessed that kind of stuff. So it's like,
hey, well, you see it all the time. Like I said earlier, if I didn't have a great family, I might have to be on that corner helping me. So I've got to look into that insurance myself. Even though it's something that you just said on here about, I didn't know the policy expires.
Yeah, they do expire. Yes. So it's so crazy because there's certain stages in life, and as I'm trying to be semi-politically correct, but people on my Facebook know I'm usually not that correct. But there, as Black people, we're always left behind in learning certain things in life and learning things with finances, budgeting, life insurance, different things like that. So we struggle with having a policy, first of all. So we've come a long ways. Like you said, we're joking, but like you said, in real talk,
yes.
Back in the day, people was buried in the backyard, whatever the case may be. They didn't have life insurance. But we have grown, and there are a lot of us now that we do have policies. However, we're still not where our peers of Caucasian background, or we're not where they are, as far as a lot of us don't understand the difference between the policies and, like you said, expiration on a policy. Yeah. So I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you guys an example. A lot of you may know or may not know this, but for instance, with a term policy, you have carriers out there that have term policies that have conversions. Most of us, we're just like, okay, we got a policy. It's a 30-year life term policy. We're great. Stick it. What do people do? Just put it in the file cabinet and keep it pushing. But they don't read it. And the difference on the conversion is, if you don't have a conversion, you have a 30-year policy. You're 50 years old, you get it today, so that's going to last you till you're 80. when you hit 80, then what's going to happen is you're going to have opportunity to keep the policy, but it's going to be a lot higher. So let's just say today you buy that policy for $70 a month. When you turn 80, 30 years from now, your policy is probably going to be about $210 a month.
Wow.
If they don't have in between those 30 years, that every 5 years or every 10 years, it starts to go up.
Wow. So now you understand why it's so hard on the people that look like me.
Yeah.
You know, even though in life, you know, when we on our feet, we get it. You know, but when them times expires, you know, it expires. So we're in a situation we don't have that funding no more to purchase that insurance.
You're right.
You know,
You're
so
right.
we are in a catch-22. You know what I'm saying? So we have to find a way to figure that out, because that's just like insurance out there on the car. You know, you get hit in the car, next thing you know it's $1,530, and they're only getting you $5,000 off the $1,530.
Exactly.
So you know you're in a catch-22, because I got rear-ended on that freeway that I'm looking at right now.
The 15.
Yes, twice on my job, and I've been fighting it 25 years. I just lost September the 1st, 2017. How do you lose a workers' comp when you got injured in a company car at work? So sometimes it's all about who you know.
It is.
You know
it
what I'm
is.
saying?
And understanding what you're doing and what policy you have. And what you said is a good thing. People always think just because you're at work and you get injured, bam, I have workers' comp. Yeah. Well, I don't really deal with workers' comp that much, but what I do know is that a lot of states now don't have it where if you're injured in workers' comp and it takes you so many years, like how you said you're fighting it all these years,
25 years,
and then all of a sudden they say, okay, you know, we're covering you. Let's say they say we're covering you. They don't go back and they don't pay for pain and suffering. Right. They only pay for medical bills and whatever it takes for you to, you know, to get better. They're not doing like they used to do, or in some states they'll actually give you money for your pain and suffering. Right. They don't do. A lot of states don't do that anymore.
And I heard Las Vegas is one of the worst. You know what
insurance,
I'm saying? Yes,
we're tough. We are.
And I'm seeing that because that, if you notice, a lot of homeless people be working, then they get hurt and dealing with these crooked lawyers and judges. You know what I'm saying? You find yourself out there hurt and homeless.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank God for the Obamacare.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we have to
they're trying to destroy. Tamper with.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. So going back to the life insurance, these are the things that we have to somehow be able to teach our people, and we need our people to absorb it, other than shining us off and not hearing what we're saying. I know people watch my show all the time, or you know, some of them don't. Some of them pass it by, but I guarantee you, everything that I talk about is something that someone there, or two or three, they have no clue. They don't know. Right. And you don't know if you don't know. But once you do know, it's for you to apply it, and it's also for you to share it. Yeah. That's the only way that us as a Black community is going to be able to rise when it comes to these things and understand better how to operate and how they work.
You know. And one thing about my grandmother had insurance, you know, and you know, like you say, they put them in the closet and put them away. And so when she passed away, we couldn't find them.
Yes, that's another thing. Yeah.
So mainly we went back to the mortuary to try to get them to look up the policy, but they said it was over. So you know
So it had expired. It had expired.
Yes.
It had expired. So here's another important thing. We have to make sure that when we're getting these policies, that we are not worried about who is in our business. Because guess what? You need at least your beneficiary and someone else in your business, because that's the only way that you can use the policy. So you didn't pay this policy for 30 years, who knows, or longer, or shorter, and you can't use it because you was too worried about Tommy and Jackie being in your business.
Trying to knock you off for that policy.
Yes, and at the end of the day, you do really need to make sure, because if people don't know, then you're not getting your proper burial. And for some people like me, I'm okay with being cremated. I'm totally fine.
Me too.
I'm totally fine. But there's people who want to be buried, and they can't properly be buried if they're hiding and not letting someone know what the situation is with the policy. But also reviewing that policy to make sure it really would suck that you've paid your policy for as long as you have. You pass away, your kids go to use the policy, but the policy has expired or whatever the case, or come to find out you haven't even paid it. So another thing that we have to do as kids, for our parents or whatever the case may be, is just make sure we kind of stay on top of that with our parents. Sometimes it's hard because they don't want you in the business, but we need to know if something happens so we kind of know where to go get it. Mom, did you have this reviewed? We get a lot of people that are like, oh, Mom, she said she's okay. I know Mom says she's okay, but I'm here to tell you, because you're a little bit younger, somehow, some way you got to finesse Mom into allowing us to review the policy, because if Mom is not okay, she needs to know that today, not 10 years from now.
Yeah, that's all goes into trust at the home, though.
Yeah,
but if you got trust at the home, Mom or Dad gonna open up the policy.
Yeah,
you know, if it's shaky, they're gonna keep it quiet.
No, you most definitely you're most definitely right. So again, you guys, if you have any questions, you need an insurance review, call me 702-625-8989. That's 702-625-8989. So one of the things that I want to do is I want to go ahead and officially introduce Michael Elliott. I want to introduce him. He is the owner of the Veg Ringtone. So I'm going to let you talk about the Veg Ringtone. I'm going to ask you some questions. We're going to go ahead and download it down here. So, okay?
Right. Well, the Veg Ringtone is a brand. That's the Veg, representing Vegas. We are here to be lovable, helpful, and here for your service. In any way you can, we just want to help people. So what we do with the Veg Ringtone, the Veg Ringtone is huge. It is like this sound that it makes you wiggle, it makes you happy, it makes you dance. It's a lot of people been getting it over the past 2 weeks. It actually just grew. The numbers have increased, like they just went up, like within the last 2 weeks. The shirts have been selling. I've been posting.
These are beautiful.
I've been posting mostly the people who bought them, and a lot of people who buy them, they're not prepared to take a picture or be on video, and they'll tell me they'll get back with me later, and they'll send me something. So I got a lot of people supporting this. Vivica Fox is endorsed. Smooth C is endorsed. Power 88 is endorsed. The governor endorsed, the Jackson Street movement endorsed. So many people have been endorsing the Veg Ringtone, and it's been, I thank the Lord, because it's been something that people think that, oh, that's nothing, a ringtone, but it's not so much about the ringtone. It's the culture.
I was gonna ask.
Driven amongst us, as a unity of people. You know what I'm saying? We all urban, and we went through this urban style of life, you know what I mean? And we got a chance to see what the world was about, from East Coast to West Coast. We got a chance to see how people, floss their gear and go out and hustle. In my household, it was all about hustling. Not illegally hustling, but hustling. I would go out and cut grass. I would go out and trim trees. I would go out and paint the side of somebody's house. My neighbors were handicapped, so they was in wheelchairs. So I would have to help them, me and my brothers. We would go help them clean the yard, do all this kind of stuff. So peacefully, my mother and father installed that in us to be helpful and to go out and do things. So this brand is peace, love, and happiness, and it's representing Vegas. And we had a tragic accident here, or whatever you want to call it, at Mandalay Bay on October 1st. And when that happened, it really made me get up off the couch and say, listen, we need to start pushing for more peace. I went out and I started chess club with Imam Fatim, and we got the chess club working, and it really went well. A lot of kids has been coming up. We've been having kids from different parts of the valley interacting, mingling with each other, so that when they grow up, they'll be friends, and that they don't have to interact with mean faces, and if they could kind of see each other, would shake hands and say, "Hey, I remember this guy from chess."
So tell me, so tell me this, Michael. So with the Veg Ringtone, we were talking earlier, and I know you said originally you started it in April
of 2017.
2017, but it took off more, or
it took
a
off.
lot?
Yeah, it took off a lot after the 10-1 over at the Mandalay Bay with the killings of all those people, and however that happened, and that was like just some crazy stuff.
It was.
I like to say this because we live. For one man to have that much artillery and to do that much, me myself, I mean, I'm an athlete, and I don't think I would have been able to do all that. I'm skilled at a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, in consideration, people take a look at, did somebody else do that? Did they have him as a scapegoat? Was he just somebody they just wanted to off? But that was some crazy stuff. Whatever attention they tried to get, whatever they was trying to push for, they got it.
They got it. Yeah, because it was very that moment was very depressing.
It was
for me.
depressing.
I'm not even. I'm
Actually,
not
at the time
native.
while it was happening, I was on the 215, but I don't know anything. I had music playing, I'm bumping. But when I get to the other side of town, I hear about it. And I could probably look and see what was going on, but I wasn't paying attention. Because I'm always out, doing my motion. So yeah, with the shirts, the ringtone, the sound, culture driven, bringing everybody as, under one sound, get rid of the iPhone chime and get into the Veg Ringtone, And I also thought about people like Sammy Davis Jr. as I made it.
I saw your video, you were talking about it.
Sammy Davis Jr. wasn't able to come to the strip, and he was a black man who gave them sound, style, and entertainment that was unbelievable. But he couldn't go and eat and dance and sleep with them.
Yeah.
So when I was making that, I had him on my mind because I know he likes to boogie. I know he likes to do his thing. So this is a wide world, and some things just don't go away. Like the Red Fox, it's never going to go away. The George Jefferson and things like that. So Sammy Davis Jr. is one of the guys that he went through a lot of BS in his lifetime as a black man, and you got a chance to witness it. So he's seen both sides early on, and they was here in Vegas. And I'm a native here, so I kind of like.
So you had to add that in.
I had to add that.
So a couple of things that I want to do. One, I want to see if I can download the ringtone. I should have done this a few weeks ago, but I'm planning on getting a different.
Well, it's cool. We do it right now. Anyway.
Yeah, so we can do that, and then two, when I do it, they'll be able to hear.
They'll be able to hear
it. Okay, because I want them to.
This is iPhone product, and this is the iTunes store. And here at the iTunes store, you click the iTunes store. Once you get to the iTunes store, you go to the search button, and after you go to the search button, you type in the Veg Ringtone. TheVegRingtone. Hit the search, the Veg Ringtone under Michael Elliott, and then you click the $1.29 to pay. You set it as your default, and then you go into your pay and put your finger on your visual.
I'm hoping my
She got some money on her other card.
No, I'm hoping I have a different card. I have a different card.
I said other card.
Let's see.
So it can only be downloaded on the
Apple. You can use actually you can use an iPhone. You can use a tablet. You can use the small little iMac. I mean the iMac computers. You can use anything Apple.
Okay. Or do you plan on in the future, or obviously you're Apple or iPhone user.
Yes.
So do you plan on doing app for Android?
I would love to do an app for Androids. I'm trying to do an app for Android now. I have some people in the lab working right now to try and get this situated, but it hasn't happened yet. Okay. So the sound that we're looking for, we haven't got what we want for the next one for the Android.
Okay. So when it gets here, then I just hit done. Because you must complete the entire.
You might.
You got to pay.
Get your password. And it's for how much?
$1.29 one time.
Okay,
and
well I
the
did
$1.29.
That lifetime one time.
That's it. One time. Lifetime. One time.
Get your Veg Ringtone.
Okay, so tell me this, because it's telling me I got to purchase, so I got to go back.
It says the payment method. You must complete the entire thing. Oh, put the code in.
Oh,
That's what he said.
Oh, I thought he said something else. I wasn't listening to Frank.
Yeah, so the Veg Ringtone is a very popular sound. It's a very popular gear, the brand. Most people are wearing it here in Las Vegas. We got some in Miami, Wichita, Kansas, Dallas, Oakland. Actually, there's a store in Miami at the flea market at Dex Fragrance that also sell these. Also, the T-shirt shop, which is Low Express Print, they sell them there. Actually, they're selling better in Miami than they are in Las Vegas. And that's because it kind of started down there. When I was down there on vacation is when I kind of created it. So when I got back to Vegas, I had pushed it out there, you know, like crazy. I like to hit the streets and tackling and running and stiff arming, you know. I like to have fun, you know. I go out there and I enjoy what I do. I mean, it's so much fun to go out there and mingle and meet people and get a chance to see the world and have fun, you know, enjoy it. Vegas is a place where everybody gonna come. I can go out to the Las Vegas Strip, sit out there and see everybody, because everybody gonna come to the Las Vegas Strip. So I do have a booth that I'm setting up out there across the street from the Aria, where you'll see the Veg Ringtone. It'll be directly across from the Aria. You can't miss it. It'll be in about a month, September actually, at the end of September. My birthday is September 1st. I'll be having a huge party. If you follow me, you'll see the parties I have. It'll probably be in some mansion house, and if you want to come out, you could hit me or Veronica. Veronica will let you know.
But you must wear your Veg Ring shirt.
Yeah,
you
that'll
gotta
be really
wear the
cool
Veg shirt.
to get in.
Yeah,
If you don't have a Veg shirt, you can't get in. It's a
Okay,
Veg
so
Ringtone party.
it said I already purchased it, so now
Okay,
we're
so
ready to
she
do.
purchased it. So now you have to go to your settings, go to the sound, you go to your ringtone. You got the Veg Ringtone, and then we're gonna call Veronica, so you could hear her sound that she just purchased. You know, I could say this because we live on Facebook. See, that's the Veg Ringtone.
Yeah, let them hear it. It's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Make you wait.
It sounds better than the ringtone that I use.
Exactly. That's what I want people to realize. But if you're a person that just don't want to see a person make it, and you just don't want to see a person do good, and you don't like people giving back to the community, then you would probably hate on this. You would probably not want to, you know, participate in this, because this is for people that got love, peace, and happiness. And if you have none of that in your heart, we don't even want you around, because we don't want that bad apple. We don't want that cancer. We want people that got love in their heart. We want people to have peace, and we want people to be happy. This is like a family reunion amongst everybody in the world. And we all gonna get this together. At least Nevada, we gonna definitely get it together first. And we gonna spread as much love as we can.
So with that being said, the Veg Ringtone, basically, it's a connection. So I'm, you know, walking down the street, I'm in the store or whatever, and I hear it, I'm gonna be like,
You connect.
the Veg
Ringtone, yeah.
And it's just a way of, you know, bonding, and everyone just kind of be on the same page, especially with what's going on now with politics, with our president. Things is a mess. At least this little piece of something will give everyone a connection.
Don't go to jail. If he don't go to jail, this will let everybody know that Caucasian people could do what they want to do, when they want to do it, and they don't have to worry about no consequences. Dig that?
I
That's
get
real.
You. I get you.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to let Henry Thorns talk a minute, because it's important to know about this nonpartisan information. And I heard you on the radio a few weeks ago. I thought I was in a situation, and it wasn't what I thought. But I'm gonna actually let him speak on it. And then we're gonna wrap it up, and we're gonna go from there. But I'm gonna let you speak on that, because that's important.
Okay. Well, you know, like I say, my name is Henry Thorns. I ran for governor of Nevada. And mainly, I registered as a Democrat. And as a Democrat, I registered, you know, I went down to vote for myself, and they told me I was registered as nonpartisan. So I said, nonpartisan, what's that? You know, and because I didn't know what nonpartisan was.
I never
you
did
know?
that before.
So they say, basically, you can't vote for no governor only ones you can vote for is like the judges or the school district kind of people, right?
Which is the primary. So the primaries is closed.
Yes, you only got the Democrats can only vote for Democrats. Yes. Republicans can only vote for Republicans.
And if you're nonpartisan, you can't vote.
You can't vote for the governor.
For the governor.
You can vote for
all the other
little stuff. Right Okay. So I was like, well, I ain't never been no nonpartisan. Basically, don't know what it means. So what's going on? So I thought trickery. You know, first thing that came to my mind was trickery, right?
Yeah.
And so what I did, I went to the registration place over there on Clark County on Cheyenne, and I went and said, hey, what's going on? I'm a Democrat. I registered to vote as governor, to run as governor as a Democrat. Mm-hmm. Well, when you signed up this time, you didn't mark no party. I said, well, I've been a Democrat all my life. They said, well, they pulled my paper up, and it shows a little box on the side. Nothing was marked. Right? So I'm like, wait a minute, you know, come on. So basically what's happening is a lot of people are falling into this, you know, so they wasn't allowed to vote for the governor, which they wasn't allowed to vote for Henry Thorns, but they was allowed to vote. And it was 23,000 voters, and it was still counting. And that's a lot.
So what you're, part of your point that you're making is that when we think that we are registered as you know, a Democrat or a Republican, whatever your party the selection is, you have to make sure every time that you do your paperwork that you mark it, because what they're doing now is if you don't mark it, they're automatically defaulting you to the nonpartisan. That's what you're saying, right?
And it's trickery.
Yes.
Because if it's primaries, and you can only vote in certain areas.
Yeah.
So imagine people who came to vote for me couldn't vote for me, so they had to vote for another party. You know, nonpartisan.
Or not vote at all.
Not vote at all. But this year was the most ever people registered and voted as a Democrat this year.
Wow.
Even the nonpartisan that nobody never knew nothing about. It's the most. Now, if you look at it, there were 6,000 Republicans that want Laxalt. And there was 5,000 and some didn't want Sisolak or Chris G. So by them not showing no other black candidate, quote unquote, on TV or the newspaper, or raise the debate up to $50,000 to debate, of course you weren't gonna see a face like mine. Because you know we didn't have the money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand.
But there's one thing, you know, what we have to realize, and you know, the pastors went and talked to Trump. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, the pastors went and talked to Trump. You know, they praised Trump and everything. And one thing the guy said, you know, during slavery days, they taught you not to read, but they let you go read the Bible. So they kept you focused on that Bible, but they wouldn't let you get education, read, and that. So they called that Bible slavery. They called that Bible pimping. That's what they said on the news, and that's what they said. You know, so we've been fooled, they trying to say, about that Bible. So that's why it's so hard on them pastors right now, because them pastors are going out there and accepting these candidates who never come in our community until election time. And then you'll have those pastors bagging those candidates while you have someone in the community 365 days a year. And you won't support it. You know, because you're listening to your pastor, which we all believe in Jesus Christ and God Almighty. You know, we all do, you know, and I'm not having nothing against religion. But sometimes we got to keep religion out of politics. Because if a pastor can tell his church to vote for you and not to vote for him because he getting the church a couple dollars, you just sold out your whole soul, your whole community.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I felt happened to me. You know, I didn't have that big support of the pastors. You know, I didn't have that big support of the other black candidates or the other black politicians who was running for office. They all got behind other people. But at the same time, what kills me, I put all them in office. Because I was with the Dog Catchers Youth House for 37 years. Imagine, I have dealt with over hundreds and thousands of kids. But I don't fault that. It was my first time running. I had a great time.
And you know what? At the end of the day, we do in life. You got to do what you like, and you can't worry about fear because you never know if you don't challenge fear. So you got to do what you got to do. If you didn't win, you didn't win. But guess what? It'll always go down on history that you ran.
You nailed it.
Yeah, it'll always be down on history that you ran. It. So it is what it is.
But now watch this. See, I didn't have to explain that to you.
Mm-hmm.
They see. No, I'm born here in Las Vegas,
and they don't
1960. There ain't too much over there saying that black people lived in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So they trying to gut us out. No history at all. This history here, they'll never in life take away.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Never take this away. So when they say there was no black people in Las Vegas, they're going to say, well, that guy Henry Thorns ran for governor in 2018.
Yeah.
And not only that, shoot,
I like to add something.
Kids
I like to add this while you're saying that. And what he's actually saying is, if we don't stand up for something, they're going to cut our nation off.
Yeah. No, and
there will be no existence of our history like the Moors back in 711 AD, which y'all might not know about, but look it up. You know, so it's good history.
No, you're definitely right on that. And I know it's hard. It's hard sometimes to support black businesses and black individuals just in general. But you know, we have to. No matter who we support, we still have to look at supporting our people.
Exactly.
I will never tell you don't support this, don't support that, because you know what? That is the economy. You can't. It's not going to turn around in just one community.
Yeah.
You have to go out sometimes and get stuff from other communities.
Right.
But as a whole, we have to be one. And part of our problem is we're not one. And so part of the thing with Don Marquez and with myself is that we like to teach our people about life insurance. We like to teach our people about auto. We like to give our services if we have to for, you know, we don't necessarily get paid to review a policy. We don't. But if I can review a policy for you and I can tell you you're good, you're going to remember that. If I can review a policy and tell you it needs to change and you need something different, you're going to remember it. Regardless if you buy a policy from me or not, you're going to remember. You're going to say, you know what, let me call Veronica. I have a couple people now. We don't necessarily do money. You know, we haven't exchanged anything like that, any policies, but they call me and I give them information. And that's what it's about. There's no need to hold on to the knowledge, just like you're sharing about, you know, nonpartisan. And again, one of the things that they need to really remember is when it's the primaries, that's when it's closed, when it's only Democrat and Republican. But you got to know that.
And you have to, whoever you signing you up.
Yeah, I was going to say that
too. Must
yes.
backtrack them.
Yes, when you said that day, and I said, okay, so all these people going to the DMV, going to this table, to that table, you need to make sure that you watch them or that you do it yourself. Mark that box.
That's
because actually, at the end of the day, there's a possibility that a lot of those came from people just grabbing them and taking them and turning them in. Yeah. It may not even been you. It may not have been you. It may have been you signing up somewhere else and they didn't mark the box.
Yeah, you're right. And you know, let me give you a short-lived experience. And I don't mean to hurt no hearts, but I want to say this.
You gonna stick it to him?
It's okay to help a black man. It's okay. It's okay to help a black woman, a black child. It's okay. We all human. You know, that's the only way we're going to make it. If we help each other. We all Americans.
We're all Americans.
We're all Americans.
Humans.
We all Americans.
We are.
It's okay. If you support a candidate and you want that candidate, help him. Give him $10. Give him $5. He know you support him. But when you do not invest in that candidate, you know you're not going to vote for that candidate.
Exactly.
But bottom line is, vote for Henry Thorns in the future. Henry Thorns is the man. But in the meantime, support the Dog Catcher Youth Foundation. You know, we've been here 37 years and we still trying to help these kids. And that's why I ran for governor, because them city councilmen and commissioners wouldn't help those kids, fund those kids. And I got out there and made that race so I could put some pressure on them to come back to our community to help the poor community. That's one of the reasons I ran. They came to our community, they got you to vote against me, and haven't nothing changed.
So I'm
Vegas
going.
Ringtone.
So I'm just gonna say really quick because we have to wrap it up. But I wanted to make sure that they understood that the money that comes the $1.29 for the ringtone for the Veg ringtone and the T-shirts, the money actually goes to his
Southern Nevada Chess. It's southernnevadachess.com online. That's the website. So it's Southern Nevada Chess and Scholastic Center, where we teach kids chess every Saturday and Wednesday. And not only we teach them chess, but I take them out and teach them about the world, how to be educated, how to deal with their situations, and just take steps in life. I'm mentoring them, and I got maybe like 16 kids, but I hold maybe 11 a week, and we open it up in Marble Manor.
Let Mike tell you he have 16 kids, but let Mike tell you the real. Mike have kids all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they had me. I went to Houston and did a demonstration with the chess. Went to Dallas and did it. So I mean, it's like I got chess clubs and people support me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I enjoy, you know, getting that support. The ones that ain't supporting, go ahead and start supporting because it's real.
So give them your
Veg
contact
Ringtone.
information for both.
IG ME702LV. That's on IG. If you want to contact me on IG. And then I want to show you a neat thing too. This is actually Vivica Fox on the card, and I will show you the video. If you go to my page, you'll see the video with her endorsing and showing the shirt. And this is a way that you can get the ringtone. Can I use your phone? Wait, yeah, let me borrow your phone. You go to the camera.
Oh, my camera's not working.
It's not, okay.
No, I
we'll do it
dropped
with
it
this
the
one.
other day. I
QR
gotta get
code
another
scan.
one.
We'll go to face scan. We'll go to, and as you see, we're gonna scan this right here. Boom, and it pops up right there, and you can be able to get the Veg Ringtone like that too.
Oh, that's cool. And I did see that the other day, and I was like, oh, my camera.
And I have a couple of posters out on the strip, and I got some inside of Tiffany's Paradise Hair and Nails. And I want to give Tiffany a super shout out because Tiffany has sold more ringtones than I have.
Wow, that's great, Tiffany.
That's huge. So thank you, Tiffany. And she's has a lot of people that comes in and buy shirts. They call me up to the beauty shop to sell shirts, and I thank you all over there. And Joy and the rest of y'all over there, Mouse and Angela and the whole crew. Sandra, I don't want to forget nobody, but Lola. Thank y'all for helping out and participate and helping sell and buying the shirts and keeping the ringtone popping, keeping that shine.
Cool.
And I like to say this. I like to thank you, Veronica and Mr. Marquez, for having us here today.
Yes,
Thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate you coming. It was a surprise because I did want to do a show with you.
Yeah.
And so when he told me, I'm like, really? Okay, well, okay, we can make this.
I'm not hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Well, I don't have your phone number.
It's 702-427-3726.
I have it
You know
now,
what
but
I'm
I
saying?
didn't have it. and-
It's
yeah.
not hard to find, and you know one thing about it, you know, it's great that you out there preaching to the people about health insurance, you know, because they need to be educated. You educated me a little more. Marquez show when I went to 88.1 educated me a little more. You know, it's not as expensive as we think it is.
It's not.
You know, one drink, instead of buying me that drink, give me that money so I can pay on health insurance a month. You know, and that's all life insurance. And that's all it really takes. You know, just one drink. And I'm preaching, but I'm finna follow it up and do it myself.
Yeah, he
You
really
know what I'm
is.
saying?
He is. He
And
came.
that's
He said today that he was gonna check out life insurance policy. So
Yes,
you know
he
we're
did.
gonna hold you to it. You on
Yeah.
Facebook? We're gonna
Hey.
hold you to it.
Hey.
So you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. And I just want to thank you guys also for coming on. And I want to thank Don Marquez because honestly. Just being around Don Marquez, going to the 88.1, and I'm always meeting these people. I met you guys at 88.1 like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, after I heard you on the radio, and then I looked at this more, I said, I gotta have them on
stayed
here.
busy. You was busy. You was working.
I was working, but I meet people at 88.1, so I do want to personally thank Don Marquez.
Power
I know he's
88.
out. I'm my bad. Power 88, the new Power 88. Yeah.
The new.
So, but I want to thank him. He's out sick today, but I do want to thank him for allowing me to, be able to interact with some of these people in the community. Again, my name is Veronica Nicholson. I am with New Beginnings Insurance Group, located at 2300 West Sahara on the 8th floor in the U.S. Bank Building. I will give you the number 702-812-2374. Nope, I'm sorry, 702.
That's the Veg Ringtone.
Yes, it distracted me. 702-625-8989. Again, 702-625-8989. And Henry is asking me to just show everybody the view so they can see you
across
again.
from Palace Station, so they'll know where you are.
I usually say across from Palace Station, but it's really nice at night. It's extremely nice.
Oh,
we
for
get
you
people
guys
Why did you have an interview at night?
well, because we were going to do it somewhere else. And
We'll do
things
another one at night.
Yeah, we could do that
Because I want this view.
Oh, this is the front. Okay, so, you guys, gotta go. Have a nice Friday. Bye-bye.
Peace, signing off the Veg Ringtone. Get yours.
Don't be scared to help a black person. It's okay.
I'll be there in about 5-10 minutes.